What's up YouTube, it's I with the Boat, and today we will be going over two action decks featuring Zero and Ryu. These decks made their debut during Haunted by Memories. For the longest and even now, these decks were feared. With the release of the new expansion, the players that are familiar with these decks have moved on to playing with new cards. That leaves us with the question, how good are action decks 2021? Before we get into the deck overview, I want to fully disclose one thing. The Zero deck does have Day of Nightmare cards in them, and there's a chance that the deck list I am showing you in this video becomes invalid in 10 days or more. TEPPEN is going through one of its growing pains called rotation. TEPPEN has not yet experienced a set rotation in almost 2 years. Full details on rotation are not yet confirmed, but we do know that Day of Nightmare cards will be leaving the standard rotation soon. There was even a point that not all Day and Nightmare cards would be rotated, hence the skepticism. However, if you love Faceburn, Ryu, or Street Fighter, the Ryu decklist in this video has plentiful life. Enough of me talking, let's get into the decklist. The first decklist we have today is Zero Exodia, and the goal of this decklist is to make it into late game using mostly actions within the deck, and the combo is X Hunters, Ceasefire, Maverick's Memories, and Rakoha. The order of operations is to use Rakoha to clear the enemy board first, play X Hunters to play down 3 units that will deal 21 damage, then you have Ceasefire that allows you to lock the enemy board out so the opponent can't block, and then you have Maverick's Memories to be able to negate 5 cost actions or under. We did add in another negate, and this negate allows you to counter cards that have 6 MP cost or less instead. This is a good negate to pretty much counter anything that Maverick's Memories cannot counter. There are cards in the game that will just beat this deck out, but there are other cards in this deck that help us have a chance in those matchups. So going through the deck, let's start off with Foresight. Foresight allows you to draw more cards. This allows you to not brick and then raise a higher consistency for the deck. It does help that it is 1 cost. Next up we have Deadly Traps. This is a Day of Nightmares card, and this allows you to return an enemy unit with 1 attack or less to the EX pocket. This deck does have a lot of attack reducing abilities, so Deadly Traps is fully maximized into bouncing enemy cards that normally couldn't be bounced, but with our deck we can cheaply do it for about 5 MP investment. Next up we have New Generation Reploids. This is also a Day of Nightmares card. This allows us to copy any card that we have explored in the game and then put it into our EX pocket randomly. This means that we get more memory triggers because there's only 1 card that we explore for, and that's Weakness. Weakness is a 1 MP minus 3 attack action card. We do play 1 Overpower in this deck. I figured why not play this card as a 1x, because we do see a lot of Alfreds. A lot of the players are not shying away from the 3 drops, so I believe that playing 1 Overpower is good for most of the meta, except for that Ouroboros matchup. We do still have Splendid Buffet. Splendid Buffet allows you to scale damage based on you and your opponent's EX pocket. Not only are you dealing damage, but you're also healing for the same amount, and this is only a 2 cost investment. Next up we have Ceasefire. This allows us to counter situations where the opponent might have Brainwash. This also allows us to counter any revival abilities where the opponent is using Rebirth or Living Death. This does not counter or any way interact with any cards that are like Golden Orb, where if a unit dies it comes back onto the field, or even possessing Malice. This does not interact with those cards. Maverick's Memories used to be a much better action card, but it has since been nerfed to where it only counters cards that are 5 MP or lower. We next play 3 Colleen. Colleen is a card that allows us to explore for weakness. Weakness is in the deck because we want to really abuse the Day of Nightmares card, Deadly Traps, to bounce the enemy units. Next up we have Demonic Intimidation. Demonic Intimidation allows us to bounce any 4 MP or less to the enemy EX pocket. Diplomacy of Love is definitely a weirder pick into the Zero Exodia decks, but after some time after using this card, you'll soon realize that having this card in your deck is essential because it buys you a lot of time in the game, and more time means more MP for you to use against your opponent. More actions are being played, and then that'll help you get into your memory requirement to close out the game. Next up, we do play 3 Mitsunes. Mitsune is a card that allows you to be very aggressive early game, mid game, and even become an annoyance late game. So having this card is good all around. Unforeseen Destruction, this is a card that allows us to have an extra negate in the deck, and it does give us the ability to have a lot more flexibility to negate even 6 cost action cards. Double Hunter Dante is still in the deck. This is a core card, so this means that it'll be staying in rotation forever. Another thing about this card is it turns into a 4/7 agility flight unit. This card can win games on its own. And next up we have Beguiling Empress Nevin. This card is a card that trades very well. It on play deals 4 damage to an enemy unit and also heals your health by 4. In addition, this card has a shield, so if you block with this card, you can potentially deal a total of 8 damage to an enemy unit. And not only that, this is a 6 MP card, so it dodges a lot of removal and has an ability when another unit dies, it gains 2 HP. With Rakoha, this is very synergetic because Rakoha kills a lot of units, and that could give a lot of health to Nevin. Hidden Threat 0 is a much better card than Nevin. This one completely removes the enemy card from the field, and you have a 5/10 agility unit that just goes in. We definitely have to play Brainwash with this meta, and I don't even know how long it's going to be, but there are a lot of units that are becoming big threats early in mid game that you gotta have this Brainwash in your deck. Having a Brainwash in your deck means that against those decks you will be able to win those games outright just by playing this one card. And last but not least, X Hunters. This is a card that the whole deck is based around, and you really do need this. So this card requires memory, and memory means as many actions that you have played for the entire game. Once you have played 15 actions, you are able to get the full value from this card. And not only that, there is only one counter to this card that could potentially beat it out, and that is Cruel Games. Now there are ways for us to beat Cruel Game players, and all we have to do is play Double Hunter Dante at the correct times so that it doesn't die, or push out the game with Mitsune, making sure that we win the early game, push out the damage, and win that way. In addition, you can also win with X Hunters. The difference is that resources is a lot more important in that matchup, so you just have to make sure that you're ahead on resources and play X Hunters when your opponent doesn't have any MP to play Cruel Games at all. Here is the QR code.
You know what's good for you. Guess I have no choice. I won't hold back.
Exodia is still good, yeah, but it only really survives if we keep deadly traps. If we keep deadly traps, our work is cut out for us. It's easier. But if we lose deadly traps, then the deck is gonna have to go through some remodeling.
Now I've got you.
What's that? Oh, that's Ayasu. Okay. Let's try and bounce him. That ain't it.
Now I've got you. So much power.
Can't do anything about that. Actually, I can. I can do this.
Playtime's over.
But then I don't have anything for Ayasu.
So much power.
I'm surprised he didn't do that on bottom. Doing that on bottom would have made a little bit more sense. That's fine. I mean, not bottom, top. He should have done it on top. Because bottom's already like, up there. That's fine.
To end all conflict. Fully charged. Playtime's over. Last warning. Surrender now. Critical damage sustained. A swift and sure victory is all that matters. You know what's good for you.
I don't really like this hand. Oh, cute. Dive V deck? I hope not. It's looking like a monocolored deck. You know what I kind of want to try? Is Oichi second hero art. And I want it to be, what's it called? Zombie. I want the zombie engine.
Now I've got you. Playtime's over.
And those attack lines jumped. I don't even know if I'm gonna get this block.
Playtime's over. Now I've got you.
Sweet.
I'm gonna blow you away. Playtime's over.
Oh shit. The hell is that?
Playtime's over.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I'm not done yet. Time to finish this. Playtime's over. Now I've got you.
That's like a really expensive kill card. He's not even playing Spike Launch. Should probably bounce it before it gets that third growth.
Last warning. Surrender now.
I was gonna minus the other dude, but I'll do Alfred. Doing Alfred makes more sense.
Time to finish this! Now I've got you! Now I've got you!
Damn.
Now I've got you! I'm gonna blow you away! A swift and sure victory is all that
What's the
matters.
name of the 4 MP negate?
Commencing battle operations.
Don't look at me like that. I didn't do what you think I did.
What's up, El Yonai? Christy, Avok, Schmo. Saw X Dema. I saw a lot of people. Ryosuma, I see you. Yeah, Soul and Demon, everybody from the workout stream. Cosplay,
I'm gonna blow you away!
he is fit. He is sure is fit.
Playtime's over!
What the heck? I don't like that.
Playtime's over!
Oh wait, is this Despair? I just realized the matchup.
Now I've got you!
This was the matchup that I wanted. Because I said,
I'm gonna blow you
when did I say this? Last season. I said it last season. That action decks would take over the, not take over the meta, but be the counter to this stuff. So this is a good way to display it.
Now I've got you! I'm gonna blow you away!
I don't think I have enough time for the block, but at least I don't take 3. I won't have enough for the block either. For with Nevin. I won't have enough for the block with Nevin. Might as well.
I'm gonna blow you away!
I should have used Diplomacy. Because they actually have the full board, but since I missed it, I'll probably just wait. Or I could use it now.
Time to finish this! I'm gonna blow you away!
Can I block?
This is coming.
That's kind of lame.
I'm not done yet!
The river is calm today, like a rock in the wind.
Of course.
Playtime's over!
Come on, Ariel.
Okay.
I'm gonna blow you away!
Let me hear you scream. Let me see you rot.
Now I've got you!
I should probably do this, otherwise I die.
Blow you away!
If they play another unit, I die there. That would be pretty bad. But do I have anything to stop top from killing me? I don't think I do. Besides maybe that block. And that's like a maybe, assuming attack lines don't jump. Saving this 0 doesn't seem very worth, but I'll do it.
Fall into the abyss.
You want to gain life? I don't think that's it. Yeah, well, yeah, I still have one negate. It's fine. I wonder how many times we can keep bouncing.
Nothingness
Alright.
is coming.
Well, now we know.
Now I've got you!
This looks good. They don't have mana. Have a negate. Seems good to me.
Let me hear you scream. Let me see you rot.
The swift and sure victory is all that matters.
I am going to be playing in this tournament. Yes. What's up, Champ Dancer, Strike Dragoon? Red Catman's been playing Street Fighter 5. It's been rough. Rank is poison to play. Feel that. Everything's a Kyle P split. What's up, Soul Bad Guy? Yeah, that guy was way behind. He kept spending his MP to do weird stuff. Like, he played Tenkai to defend against something, I can't remember. But I know one of the last cards he plays was Tenkai. So that let me be very secure or confident in playing X Hunters. One thing I do have to say about these decks is that, are they very popular? Not really. Are they strong? I think so. It's up to you if you like this playstyle to build these decks, or if you were really curious about how they were faring this season, now you know. I definitely don't recommend building the Zero Exodia deck because there's a lot of skepticism on how valid it will be in the next coming foreseeing days. But the Denjin Renki deck is definitely a deck that you can play and do well with. But there are definitely a lot of choices in TEPPEN these days. So I would definitely, if you're still looking for the deck that's just for you, I would do a lot more research. But if you like this playstyle, there you go. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed the content from my Twitch channel, IO with the Boat. If you're new to the channel, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And this weekend I will be participating in a tournament. Let me know if you would like to see any content from that tournament, and I'll do my best to make a video about how I do this upcoming weekend. If you want to participate in this tournament yourself, there is going to be more information about the tournament in the description below. Please check that out. And thank you everyone for watching.